Hi, I'm Dr. Kaiping Wang, Chief Medical Officer at High Focus Centers. Now, whether you're engaging in our telehealth programs or in telemedicine programs elsewhere, I think you'll find these brief, easy employee tips pretty helpful in enhancing your telemedicine experience. Now, why is it so important to work on things like resolution and audio quality? Well, obviously, there's a lot of communication that can happen non-verbally. And so without a good quality connection, you won't be able to pick up on little nuances that you might be using or whoever you're speaking to. This can also include picking up on physical signs that your therapist, provider, psychiatrist, physician are looking for when they're speaking with you. Different colored sclera, different twitches, unusual movements, and so forth. First thing you want to start with is a decent webcam. Now, for most people, this is not going to be an issue, especially if you have a computer or phone or tablet that's only a few years old. Those are by and large going to be more than sufficient. If, however, you have something that's older, you may want to spring for a pretty inexpensive USB webcam with 1-2 megapixels, and you'll find that that will be a big boost in your telemedicine encounters. Now, the best suggestion, I think, is to try to go wired if possible. There is a lot of convenience in wireless, but often in households, multiple people may be accessing your Wi-Fi. People may be downloading movies, playing games, also video conferencing. All of these things may cause some bottleneck in communication. So if you can, try to use a physical connection to the internet. Typically, this will mean something called an Ethernet cable. Now, Ethernet cables, there's lots of different versions, RG5, RG6, RG6+, RG7. Any of those is going to be great. Any of those is going to be a big, big improvement over wireless. Ethernet is really, really easy to hook up to your laptop. Now, all you have to do is really plug one in to your laptop and the other end to your router or modem or switch. Usually your internet service provider's provided something, and once you plug in, your computer typically recognizes within a few seconds, and you're really just good to go. Now, what happens if your laptop or where you're going to be working is not close to where your cable modem or DSL modem or fiber optic modem is? Well, one option is Powerline Ethernet. It's pretty easy to set up. You want to put one device into an outlet near your router or modem, and you kind of hook that up with an Ethernet cable. And then the other one you put in an outlet near where your workplace is. And then there's an Ethernet cable that comes from there and goes into your laptop. Now, it may not work in all houses. It really depends on your electrical wiring. It also depends on how far your circuits are apart. But this may be also a relatively easy way to get some physical connection. Not as fast as a direct Ethernet line, but definitely still faster than Wi-Fi. Rarely your home may be wired with coaxial cable. Coaxial cable is that copper covered cable that you may run from antennas or to your cable box or cable TV. Some houses built in a certain time frame may actually have coaxial connections from one room to another. And so you can also use this as a way to get a wired connection by using these coaxial Ethernet adapters. It's unusual, but if you have those, then this is one option as well. Now, if you have an Android or Apple device, there are these things called OTG to Ethernet adapters. OTG just stands for on the go. And basically one end is a micro USB or a lightning cable jack, and the other end has a port for an Ethernet cable. So basically you buy one of these devices, hook it up to your tablet or phone, and hook the other end using an Ethernet cable to your router or modem, and then you've got a wired connection. Now, what if you have to stick to Wi-Fi? Well, maybe getting a new router might help. Get a router with large antennas, a good strong signal strength. That will probably improve your Wi-Fi connection and then your video quality. Mesh networks are also a possibility. These are basically 2 or more routers that are designed to merge seamlessly. They're a little tricky sometimes to set up, not that bad. And then that can basically give you Wi-Fi for a wider area using one Wi-Fi network. So you can actually kind of walk from one end of your house to another. Another possibility is a Wi-Fi extender. These you would put kind of at the edge of where you have good signal Wi-Fi and usually plug it right into an outlet, and then it rebroadcasts a different Wi-Fi network. So this may be helpful if your office is far away from where your router is. You can also check your internet service provider. If you have a lot of people in home and maybe you only have a certain speed, maybe increasing that internet speed could also help. Now that you have the basics of a good signal, you also want to make sure you set the scene for where you are. And this means making sure that what your provider sees, your physician, psychiatrist, therapist, they can kind of see both your head, probably upper shoulders as well. It's best to have a camera angle that's kind of more eye level. Otherwise, you can get some distortions if your camera is too low or too high. And you want to be very conscientious of lighting. Don't make sure there's no light that shines right into the camera. You don't want to be overly backlit because then your facial features are going to be pretty dark. And it'll be washed out if you're there's too much light in the front. And you probably have to play around with this a bit. It's important to also be cognizant of privacy, so no one else really should be able to see or hear the screen. This ensures a more secure conversation with your therapist or provider. And along those lines, one way to easily and inexpensively enhance your audio experience is probably just using a headset microphone. You don't have to get something super expensive like these gaming headsets. Anything that really has, even something like a simple cell phone microphone probably is going to be an improvement over just using your webcam or your video tablet or phone monitor. What's important to do in selecting one of these is to looking how you're going to put that input in. So a phone might need a micro USB or a lightning cable. You may have a single jack used for both microphone and headphone, or dual jacks in your laptop, and then USB is also an option. Well, hopefully these quick tips have been helpful, and you can use some of these and find that your telemedicine, telehealth, teleconferencing experience is better. If you are looking for additional help, you can actually contact us at 800-877-3628, and someone will talk to you about our telemedicine programs. Thank you.